Greetings, everybody, and welcome back to Very Biased Opinions for another round of League One predictions. All 12 clubs are in action, and we are going to start with the side that tops the league. Not Fleetwood Town, but they are playing Sunderland.
Let me just quickly say, Ian, that Fleetwood Town no longer have Joey Barton, but they've always been a bogey team to Oxford United. I've actually seen them play Coventry, and they've been a bogey team to them, and I absolutely hate bogey teams unless they're bogey teams to Arsenal. Therefore, I do not like Fleetwood Town. I don't need a manager to hate them. They're just an annoying bogey team that never play good football but seem to get some results sometimes. So I'm done with Fleetwood. You're going to lose this. Sunderland, finally having a good start to the League One season. It feels like a million years coming. They're only clear by 2 points, but they're looking good. They've won 5 games. Yeah, they've lost one, but they banged in 10 goals. Defensively, they're looking pretty good right now. I can't see a Fleetwood getting anything from this game. Can you?
No, I can't, but only the fact that they can be a git of a side to play against. And they did just have a fantastic victory over Rotherham, which really came out of nowhere. But I am full of praise for Sunderland after that 2-1 win against Accrington, which doesn't seem like, if you're outside of League One and you look inward, you'd think, well, that wasn't too much of an amazing result. But Accrington are such a hard side to play against, and they pushed Sunderland all the way, and Sunderland had to be right up for that game if they were going to get anything out of it, and they were. They scored 2 good goals, and they defended for their lives, and they came out with a very, very, very hard-earned 2-1 win, which I'm not sure they would have got in seasons past. So whisper it quietly, but it looks like it's going to be a good season for Sunderland, and I'm also going to back them here. Tom, what did you say the score was?
I didn't pick one, but I'm going 2-0 now.
Yeah, I'm going to go for another 2-1 win.
Doncaster Bells versus Morecambe. Bottom of the table, Donny. Losers of 5 of their last 6, with the only result they've had being a draw. Yep. Ian, are they in danger of being cut? Is next match a must-win fixture for this side?
Of course it is, Thomas. They are in must-win territory, but if you're a Doncaster fan, it will feel like it, because it's been, other than like a couple of decent games at the end of last season, it's been a miserable run for a long time now. Took the lead against Wigan. Wigan came back to beat them 2-1. Morecambe had one of the craziest games ever off the back of beating Sheffield Wednesday. They would have thought, well, we'll play against Wimbledon. That'll probably be a nice, easy win. No. 3-4, although they did score arguably the goal of the season.
What, with the chip from 35 yards?
Just seen it, Tom. I showed it to you. Stockton.
Oh, the volley. There's so many good goals in that game.
There were.
Sorry.
The Stockton's volley, if you haven't seen it, is like, what is he? 50, maybe like 50 yards out, 45 yards out. It is a wonderful strike. It's a shame it didn't win the game. If Doncaster don't win this, where do they go from there? But I can't back them for anything other than a draw, I think. I'm going to go for a Desmond 2-2.
Yeah, Morecambe looked really good this season. Like, yeah, they lost that game 4-3, but they're scoring goals. Considered a bit too many, but they're doing better than I thought they would. And Doncaster are
shit show, really, aren't they? Shit show.
Dumpster fire. 2-0 to Morecambe. I'm doing it.
There we go. There's a shock, folks. Will there be another one? Bolton versus Rotherham.
I mean, this is a huge game, but we did say pre-season, not that our video ever made it out, that Rotherham are the sort of side that always make it difficult for themselves. I think when they go up, it generally tends to be the playoffs, or at least they really eke it out till the final day. Bolton, fantastic, everything we expected of them, currently sitting 3rd in the league, scoring goals, conceding a couple too many though, Ian.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they'll be too worried about it after the weekend when you go and beat Ipswich by 5-2. I don't think you're too worried about the 2. They've been amazing since coming back in, really, and I thought they'd be good, but they're exceeding expectations for sure. The Rotherham game, I think that'll be just one where they're like, how the hell did that happen? The 4-2 defeat to Fleetwood. So they will be desperate to get something out of this Bolton game. I think they will. I'm going to back Rotherham here. I'm going to go for a bit of a shock one here. I'm going to go for Bolton Bolton 1, Rotherham 2.
I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. I think it's going to be a really tight game. I think Rotherham won't want to lose. I think Bolton are going to be careful against them because they know it can get beat. And it's going to be a close one. The Chairboys versus Charlton Athletic.
Boring Wycombe. Anti-football. If they played like that every week, I wouldn't be a supporter. They were just some of the things Oxford fans threw around during the Wycombe Wanderers game. And do you know what? I don't agree with any of it. I thought Oxford has got this little chip on their shoulder about Wycombe that and it still probably harks back to losing to them in the playoffs, that they are a god-awful side and they're terrible and they're boring.
Yeah.
And just because they didn't come to the Kassam stadiums and make the game easy and roll over and let Oxford United win, Oxford seemed to have some sort of problem with that. I thought that they play to their strengths. They try and get the ball forward to quickly to Vokes. They've got pacey players out wide. They're a threat from set pieces a lot more than Oxford are, which I wish Oxford could take a leaf out of sides like Wimbledon or Wycombe's book and be a lot better at bloody getting goals and cheap goals from set pieces. So I haven't got any problem with Wycombe's style of play whatsoever. And they're coming up against one of these sides, Tom, in Charlton, that have had an awful start to the season, and I don't know why.
I don't have an answer. This is, I think we had them not automatics, but definitely in the playoffs, possibly third or fourth, and they've just lost 2-1 to Cheltenham Town, a side we didn't expect to do that well in the league, who were having a pretty nice start to the season. But it is genuinely early doors. We had Oxford playing well last season, and at this point last season, Oxford were doing terribly. So, eventually they'll find their form, but I don't think they're going to beat this Wycombe side, and I can't believe I'm going to say it, but I think I might go with a 2-1 Wycombe victory here.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a Wycombe win here too, and I think that if you're a Charlton fan, they'll already be losing patience with Nigel Adkins, even at this early stage. And by the way, you just said about Oxford did terribly. Oxford never lose games. They just run out of time. Just want you to remember that. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Wycombe win. Sheffield Wednesday versus Shrewsbury Town.
Now, Ian, will you be frequenting this match?
No, Thomas, because I will be coming to Leeds to see you.
Yes.
And we will be doing a live stream of the Cheltenham Oxford game, but we were supposed to save that till the end. So you just jumped the gun and maybe ruin the surprise for everyone.
Sheffield Wednesday 2, Shrewsbury
1. Right, Sheffield Wednesday, couple of not so great results for them, and that's putting it mildly. They wouldn't have thought they'd lost to Morecambe. They'd have wanted to go down to Plymouth and put in a good show. They got destroyed by the Pilgrims on the south coast by 3-0. Shrewsbury could only muster a pretty lacklustre 1-1 draw against Crewe. So Wednesday will be looking at this one as an absolute banker. I'm going to say that the traitor's going to rally his boys for this one, Tom. 3-0 Wednesday.
Just remind me, the traitor is Darren Moore, yes?
Yes, I said 3-0, not 3-1. But yes, Darren Moore is correct. You got one out of the two things right there.
I mean, that's better than normal, if we're being totally honest.
Very true. But let's see how well you do with Accrington Stanley versus Wigan Athletic.
I can't scream as loudly as I want because this can't hear it. But my boys, second straight year. Incredible start. They're sat in 6th place. Scored 7, conceded 7. Yet again, they continue to be the enigma that somehow stays in a playoff place for an extended period despite being Accrington. But it's great to watch. I love that they've become this side now. It's the second straight year they're kind of maintaining this. We're a lot harder to beat than you thought we were going to be, and if you give us an inch, we'll score. And it's going really well. Wigan, though, second in the league, doing exactly what we thought they'd do. 13 points already. I don't want to do it, Ian, but stop, hand. No, stop, don't type it in. Don't do it. What is this? Oh, God, we're going to win in 4-2.
Wow, high-scoring game. I don't see it being that many goals in it, but an intriguing one, because you're right what you said about Stanley. And it's not a surprise that they go away to Sunderland and put on a show like that. It's not a surprise that they beat Pompey in that game. And we saw them beat Oxford at the Kassam last season as well. Then it's not a surprise. They're a bloody hard side to beat. You've got to be up for the fight. They seem to love playing these big sides, especially away from home, it seems to be. Wigan, for me, they look a real promotion contender. I know it's early doors, but they've played a lot of the good sides already. They were 1-0, but could have come unstuck against Donny. Not a great performance by them, but they found a way to turn it around and win 2-1. I see this one being honours even. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
And now it's time to break in. Let me quickly thank our Patreon subscribers. Thank you, Matthew Bowden, Robert Allen, Christina Allen, and PJ Simpson. And let's not forget about Grandstand Bettors. They're a fantastic tipster website. Check them out. They support us all the time. We sometimes do collabs, so have a look over there. But seriously, if you want to support the channel, please hit like, smash the subscribe button, comment below. And if you want to help us go to live games and send you guys kind of like cool videos and stuff like that, please consider following us on the Patreon.
Very good, Thomas. Very good. Let's move on now to Portsmouth versus Cambridge United.
Pompey versus Cambridge United. No, I can't get up for it that much. Portsmouth, I don't really know what to tell you about Portsmouth, Ian. Not great. But
no, I was actually going to say if you instead of shouting boring Wycombe, really you should be shouting boring Portsmouth. Only 4 goals scored, 2 goals conceded in the 6 games that they've played. 2 1-0 defeats in a row now. I don't think Pompey fans really know where their team stands, and probably don't think where the season hasn't even started yet. But they will be thinking that if Cambridge put in a performance like they did against Lincoln, they should be an easy win for Pompey.
Yes, but here's the thing. Pompey and Sunderland work on sliding scales. So if Sunderland are up here, Pompey must go down here. Likewise, if Pompey do well, Sunderland come back down. That's why they're always next to each other in the table, or one goes up and one drops down. And by that rationale, Cambridge United to lose 1-0.
And we call that scale the Thomas Pickering made-up scale. I'm also going to...
When is the last time Portsmouth ended above Sunderland? Tell me.
Yeah, but what are you talking about? Anyway, right.
Magic. Talking about magic.
Cambridge, first time this season, Cambridge have had a really bad result. And it's probably just a bit of a wake-up call that League One is a bloody difficult league, and you are just going to get rolled every once so often. And Lincoln gave him a hiding at home by 5 goals to 1. Yeah. So they need a response, and unfortunately, I think Pompey will win. I'm going to go 2-1 Portsmouth.
Crewe Alexandra versus Burton Albion.
I don't have too much to say about this one. Crewe haven't impressed me at all, and I think it's a real worry for them. I think they look quite a weak side in this league, whereas Burton look an incredibly hard side to beat. Even when they're not playing at their best, they very rarely lose. I don't even know if they have lost a game yet this season. They just seem to be able to eke things out when they're not playing that well. And I think that Burton will eke out another victory here. I'm going to go for a 1-0 Brewers win.
Well, as we all know, Jimmy Floyd is my boy. He turned this side into an impossible-to-beat team. They've drawn with Gillingham. They drew with Burton. They are Burton. They drew with Bolton. They drew with Gillingham. The game they lost was to MK Dons, who do have it in them to do that. But, weird draws, like a 1-1 draw with Cheltenham. A 3-0 loss to... So the one in the league was a 3-0 loss to Cambridge United. But they beat Sunderland. They beat Ipswich. They lost on penalties to Oxford. They beat Shrewsbury. They're looking really good this year. I can't see how Crewe would get a result here. 2-0 to the Brewers.
Right, Lincoln City. You're right with the Brewers, by the way. Lincoln City versus Ipswich Town. I'm just going to start off by saying, how? Ipswich fans, how? How do you keep doing this in every single game? How did you lose that game at the weekend? Just terrible defending. I'm just at an absolute loss how you ended up losing 5-2 to Bolton. You seem to find new ways every week to throw points away, and
15 goals they've conceded this year. 15 in 6 games.
At what point? Maybe some of you have lost patience with me already. I don't think we do get many Ipswich fans who comment on this channel, but if they do, please let me know where it's going wrong, and if you have lost patience with Paul Cook already, because it is a shocking start for a side that spent a lot of money you would be expecting them to be doing a lot better. Even though I will preface again, it is still early days in the table.
Yeah, Lincoln with a huge victory here, 5-1 as well coming into this, but they've underwhelmed a side that we thought would probably be doing better this year. But this is the problem at the beginning of the season, though, isn't it, as well, Ian? Is that this like weird microcosm of the first 5 to 10 games, you get this picture of the league, and then somehow when you double that, the picture of the league is completely different because both these sides are too good to be doing what they're doing. Ipswich fans, let us know what you think. Lincoln fans, we know what you think. Desmond? I'm going Desmond.
I think I've been backing Ipswich Town every time, and so I'm going to do the opposite, and it'll probably mean Ipswich will get a win here at Sinsel Bank. But I think there's a little bit of Lincoln just maybe feeling sorry for themselves, if a little bit. Tom, they lost in the playoff final, and then they had issues with Appleton's health and COVID and stuff like that. So maybe just a little bit licking their wounds, but they showed what a powerful side they are against Cambridge. Players like Adelican, we saw he was good at Hull last season. McGrandles is a great player for this level. Anthony Scully is a goal machine at the moment, and he's not just scoring tap-ins. Everything seems to be a 20-yard curler into the top corner. The lad is on fire, and I'm going to go for an Imps win for my old stomping ground, 2-1 win to make.
All right, let's do this one quickly. Ian. Gillingham versus MK Dons.
Yeah, well, you must be delighted at MK Dons, Thomas. They are doing really well this season. Had a good victory over Pompey as well by a goal to nil. Very good counter-attacking goal, actually, from a Portsmouth corner. Good break, good goal, good win. I think they'll get a win here as well. I haven't seen much of Gillingham that is impressing me, other than the fact that they've still got Oliver up front, who was a goal threat. I'm going to go for a 2-0 MK Dons win.
Yeah, I'm going to match that, and I'm just going to read this out to you. You tell me what sounds wrong. Sunderland, Wigan, Bolton, Wimbledon, MK Dons. Hearing anything weird in that top 5?
Sunderland.
Good point. AFC Wimbledon versus Plymouth Argyle. Green Army.
Sorry. I talked over it. I do apologise, Thomas, but I just couldn't wait to talk about Wimbledon because they, as you absolutely just said, what an amazing start to the season. They backed up the victory against Oxford with a fantastic win in the game against Morecambe. Topsy-turvy game, but they showed what a good side they are, really. And as I talked about how they can score goals in a variety of different ways, they're good at set pieces. But if you look at the winner that they scored, the young lad called Asal in the 94th minute, and I've talked about him before, what a talent he looks. This is a side, especially at Plough Lane, this is a side that's got a lot of good things going for them. But they come up against a Plymouth side, Tom, that I think also serious promotion contenders this season.
Yeah, it's good to see them playing well. Last season kind of petered out for them, didn't it? They were good to bad to good to bad to the end of the season, just kind of we're mid-table and we're going to sit there. But they're looking really good. They're in 8th place now. They're doing really well. They're not conceding many goals either, which is a huge thing for them. They seem to have shored up at the back, and I think this might be a draw, Ian. What do you think?
I'm going to go for a lot of goals in this because Wimbledon don't seem to do boring. But let's just say one thing. This got overshadowed in a crazy weekend of League One games. But Plymouth beat Sheffield Wednesday 3-0. That is a big result in their season, a big feather in their cap. So well done to the Pilgrims on that one. I'm a bit of a sucker for Wimbledon now. I'm going to back them again. I'm going to go for a 3-2 Dons win.
3-2. I mean, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw here. But Ian, you hate AFC Wimbledon. Hate.
I used to. They won me over when I saw them play Oxford last season, and they've carried that on this season.
It's because I like MK Dons so much. You just want to like their rivals. I see how it is.
I like MK Dons as well, but I don't say. What can I say? I call it how I see it. We've reached that time again, folks, where you can just forget everything else that we've said because it's time for the only game that matters. It's time for the main event.
Cheltenham Town versus Oxford United.
I don't really have much to say about Oxford, Tom, this week. For one, after that 0-0 draw against Wycombe, which was a dog of a game, a real dull affair, if I must say. I thought, let's look at the positives. I thought Oxford, from a defensive point of view, looked really good. They needed to show a bit of backbone after the Wimbledon game, and I think they did that, especially with the likes of Moore being out, so you had to put McNally back into centre-back role, and for a young centre-back, I think he looks really good. Hopefully Sam Long will come back in, but I think that he's probably likely going to be substitute appearances for the next couple of weeks, because I thought he looked really rusty when he came on. He looked like he looked like he was stripped for pace, like pretty much every time when he came off. But it's a good sign that he is back to fitness. Going forward, I'd like to see Herbie Kane give it a go. I think that Oxford need a bit more creativity in there. I'd like to see Ryan Williams come back into the starting lineup too. He's never going to play Dan Adjie, but I think he could be a useful player in this game. But he does need his team to want to give him more than 5 minutes in any match. So it's going to be Taylor up front, isn't it, again? Even though he's not really looking very threatening. But he is still working hard, and he is, from a defensive point of view, he contributes as well. So it's a damn sight better than what it usually is at the start of a Robinson season. So let's not be too disappointed with a 0-0 draw. We'd like to get that first win on the road, though, Tom. Get that kind of monkey off your back, if you like, so people don't start talking about it. But I do think Oxford will concede, but hopefully we can score 3. A 3-1 Oxford United win, because Cheltenham have been a bit ropey at the back.
Yeah, I got Cheltenham losing this game 2-0. I will say Cheltenham has surprised me this season. They're doing a lot better than I thought. Outside of the they lost to Fleetwood, which ain't great. They did lose to Wycombe. But they beat Ipswich, and say what you will about how bad Ipswich have been, that's still a big win for this Cheltenham side.
Yeah, but I mean, that's just a good win for them against Charlton as well, away from home.
Yeah. So there's that. They also drew with MK Dons, which is a good result for them. So they're coming into this game. They're not in the worst form, but Oxford have to be too strong for this side. So you gotta go Oxford here.
I just think, I mean, again, it's all from our own doing, and it all comes back to, people will say it's defensive frailties, but it's more the attacking frailties where they just create a billion chances and don't put them away. Really, anything else? So games against Bolton and games against Wimbledon, arguably we should have scored 2 or 3 goals in that game, and therefore we wouldn't have lost them. So we're our own worst enemy.
Indeed. And on that note, Ian Allen, we finish here. Thank you all for watching. Please comment down below. What do you think? Are we right? Are we wrong? Do I even know what I'm talking about? I'm wearing a Houston Astros hat. Because I assume it's Ian saying no. Please check out Grandstand Bettors. They're a fantastic website. And I recently heard they do live streams, Ian, which are quite good.
They are satisfactory.
Excellent. And without further ado, our Gilding Lily, enjoy the rest of your day. We will see you live on Saturday for Oxford United playing football against Cheltenham Town.
We just did the game,